Call the meeting into order at 4:10. And I did not receive meeting minutes from the last meeting, and I have not received any financials either, so we won't be going over those. Is there any public that'd like to speak on non-agenda items? No? Okay.
Somebody sure.
TJ?
I'll hold my peace.
Okay. So is there any topics that you guys would like to discuss that, you know, you've thought about since the last meeting, or anything that's come up?
I don't know, can we ask if we could get Mr. Drew, like,
I can,
it doesn't really go with the theme, but like as a,
we had him 2 or 3 years ago. Last year he was booked solid.
right,
And we have to wait for financials to kind of start booking
Okay.
a lot of things. But he's not expensive, so I will look into him, and, I know
I was
kids.
just curious.
Yep, kids absolutely love him. It's just hard to squeeze him in because with his animals, to be in the direct sunlight in the middle of the day when it's really hot is a lot for them. So we have to, like, the year I had him come, we did him at 4 or 4:30 after the bounce houses closed. So it was a little cooler, and like kids kind of gravitated towards that while we were taking down the bounce houses and stuff, so it was like a transition period, but.
What about the new, like using like the reunion building or for him to be inside?
So I would have to speak with Jordan. I know last year he rented out the reunion building during the Blueberry Festival. So it'd be a matter of whether or not he has it booked or not.
Right.
So, that's like really the only building there.
Right, that would be big enough.
Yeah.
I guess they were talking about the children's festival and they only let like so many people in at a time to see him. He was in a room, he was in where they have the school board meetings.
Yep.
And so, like Megan, my friend Megan Luya waited 45 minutes to get in because they were only letting like whatever 50 people in at a time
Yeah.
for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So,
Something we could definitely look into. When we did it here, we just kind of had him set up on a field, and he set out tables, and the kids kind of all sat around, because it's hard when you have, you know, potentially 1,000 kids.
Right,
To, that would take a long time to get
Right.
through groups, so.
right.
But it's definitely something we can look into and try to add, and
Okay.
see if he has any western animals.
Yeah.
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Tarantula, whatever.
Given that he's always booked, I would expect that if we were to cancel on him, it'd be easier for him to find a replacement. Could we attempt to book with him pending our financials?
We can, yep.
Okay, at least we get our foot in the door.
Like I said, last I knew, he wasn't much. I want to say I paid 4 something for him, so it's not a huge expense, but not knowing where the account's at right now due to it showing negative concerns me a little.
Right.
Because fireworks are a lot. so.
Right. Have you had any food vendors reach out to you?
I have. I've had quite a
Awesome.
few. The applications are starting to come in, so that was gonna be a question for you guys. Are you guys okay with me reviewing them and just accepting whoever for
Yeah.
food vendors? Do you guys wanna review them?
No,
Okay.
we couldn't get enough, so
Okay.
whatever you can get would be good.
Yep, we have quite a few, so far, so I think we're off to a good start at least.
Yeah, and I've got to print mine off for the Wilton Scholarship too, so
Yep.
that we can put that in. Yep.
Okay. That's the other question, crafters and vendors. Do you guys want to review those applications, or do you want me to do it like I have in the past? And then if I kind of have questions of whether or not we should, just kind of pass it
Right,
along?
like last time, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Aware.
all right. I will do that. And again, we've already got some of those applications coming in, and so I think we've got a pretty good response so far.
Good.
People seem to like the theme.
Good.
From what I can tell. Have you guys put any more thought into music? Obviously, we've tabled it twice due to wanting to speak with James, but we gotta move forward. So thoughts on that? Do we wanna try to schedule a meeting with him at a time that he can make a meeting? So we can all discuss it? Do you guys want me to discuss it with him outside of a meeting?
So is it just Mondays that he can't?
I'm not sure, that's.
Because he said he has a meeting every Monday at 4, so is it just Mondays he can't do at 4?
You guys know as much as I do from the emails, I don't know, I can check with him?
I don't
Let
know.
me see what it says.
I'm not convinced, like I said, that he never knows when he's gonna be leaving or coming, so I think it jumps around when somebody calls, like Amazon, he has to go, so. But what was your thinking? Were you planning to have somewhat, sort of, kind of music like you had before, like at the park and?
Yeah, I guess I just need to know what direction you guys want me to go in. Do we want to start planning it for a different location, or do we want to try to communicate with James and see if we can figure out what's going on in that area?
I just don't know what different location. Do you?
The only thing I can come up with would be Bass Park.
Right.
The other thing would be, it really not even overly feasible in my mind, would be McGillicuddy Park. Set up a stage in McGillicuddy because there is electricity there, the one across from the post office,
Oh, yeah.
and close down that section of Main Street and kind of do some food trucks and the street dance there. It would take it away from the downtown businesses, which is why it was centered down there to
Right.
begin with.
That's probably the same thing, though.
Right.
But no one's walking between Bass Park and.
Right,
Yeah.
right, which is what I would like to avoid is, we were trying to,
I think I like that one better than Bass Park. I
so,
think Bass Park would be too far out of the way
right,
for people to
But people
think
walk
about it.
down there, don't they, to listen to it, because there is music down there, isn't there?
She does have, you have one day, right? during the day
fireworks, we have people come in and play
Before.
7 to 9,
Yeah.
right before the fireworks, just to entertain.
And I think you still should have that, because people get down there, and you need something down.
Right.
You know, food trucks and them.
Yep, last 2 years, we've had food trucks up in the back parking lot
Yeah.
and bands.
I still think you should do that same thing. That's my suggestion.
So if we book a band for the stage by Key Bank,
Key Bank, what do you mean? No, we're
Well,
talking
that-
about down by.
no, I know, but I'm going back to, so if we decide that we want a band there, what happens if he wants to put one in front of it,
Yes, that's the dilemma.
right?
So that's why I feel like
I agree, I think that's a great idea. I think you planning to have one down across from the post office is a great idea.
how
And
do,
it's like a backup, right?
right. How do we feel about if it doesn't work out to have ours down in the square? What does it look like to have a band at McGillicuddy and his band down there? Is that competing noises too close together? Is it,
Probably.
I think you're gonna have, but he doesn't have a band that night, does he?
he might if we don't.
I don't think he will.
If we do, for the sake of business.
Well, when he says he does, then I don't know what we do at that point, because we'd already have people lined up and stuff to go with that.
Right.
I guess we just, like you said, we just need to do whatever we think is best.
Okay. So, do you guys want me to move forward with booking bands as usual and then giving them we'll tell you where you're going when you get there?
Right.
I think
No, I think that's a good idea.
I think that's, yeah, I think you
Okay.
should, definitely should do that.
Okay.
Right, looking at like Western,
I would love to have Tim Lambert and High Mileage come back, because I think they're great and they do a lot of country.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna look into more like Western kind of,
Yeah.
to fit the theme, if that
Cool.
works for you guys.
yeah,
Yep.
Is there an issue with the vendors, the vendors who are usually set up at McGillicuddy?
Yep. But I can arrange that differently if we have to. Because we could put a stage, I'd have to look at McGillicuddy again, but we could put a stage, our stage isn't that big, and just not put vendor tables there. We'd have to take less
Vendors who are
vendors.
easy to move? Are
Yeah,
there vendors who are easy to move?
yeah. Yep,
But couldn't we move it after Friday night or Saturday morning early?
not if we do bands throughout
Oh,
the
so
day
you're saying
Saturday.
Saturday too.
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea. I don't see an issue. We only gotta take like 1 or 2 spots, one back,
right, or, yeah, probably more like 2 with the tent, if we do a
Right.
bigger tent.
if
but-
you put a tent, right?
Do you remember how big the tent is that we use for the stage? Is it 24 feet?
That sounds more right.
Yeah, but I can look at different tents too, but,
No, that is what it is, you know?
okay.
and the stage has to be set up on public property, can't be like,
I think Maria's okay with us like if we could use Cousineau's property, if we can work something out with James, that we do one centralized stage, I think, as long as we get some paperwork done, that we're
From Cousineau's?
fine, yeah.
Well, that's why we dragged it, like we talked about. That's why we dragged it out, so it was like in almost in a public way, not really on Cousineau's property.
Right. So, I don't know. There's just so many unknown variables to,
No, we just gotta go forward, like you said.
okay. All right, so, anything else you guys can think of that you've thought of?
That's what I thought of, I do feel like, just moments carefully. We don't have a lot of planning options because we're not hearing from James. At the same time, so we have not sent James minutes for our past 2 minutes at our staff meetings.
Yes,
So that's, in fairness to him, he doesn't know we're waiting for his feedback. or
right.
anything like that.
So I can definitely reach out to him. I got his email shortly before I came here. I did want to let him know that we voted, but I can reach out to him and try to see if maybe he can send us his plans if he can't make it to a meeting, or try to arrange some sort of meeting with
It'd
him.
be nice to know what he was planning, because last year we didn't know till like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right,
So that makes it pretty tough at that point, well, what we're gonna do and what we're not gonna. I know I've already said, we ate down there the other night, because we had a coupon or whatever to get it to use, so. And I said, he goes, oh, how'd the meeting go? I go, we're trying to figure out bands and stuff, and he goes like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm more than willing to, work together on a collaboration. We need to be included on plans so that we're not stepping on each other's toes.
I think it's 100%. Makes it tough.
But we're in a holding pattern waiting on him.
Yes,
And if he doesn't communicate with us, we're kind of being held hostage.
right, and that's what happened last year.
Right. And that's
We
why,
waited a long time.
that's why we're gonna try to move forward and just go with, if we don't have any communication, then we don't have any choices.
So can we set a date that says if we don't hear what your plans are for the XYZ, we're going ahead with our own plans and you can work around us?
Yep.
Well, you should have to work around us anyway, though.
I agree.
What would you
We're
like
these
that,
people.
what would you like that date to be?
That you and your plan would know more about that than I would. I don't know what a fair date would be, or what a reasonable date would be.
Next meeting? Okay.
And be fair to him, I bet you he doesn't really know. Because I think last year that they were trying to plan it all out with people that were sponsoring.
Yes. Yes.
So he didn't know for sure until maybe a month prior to when it was gonna happen.
Right. And I get that, I mean, plans change, I mean, planning this whole thing, definitely things change and you gotta go with the
Right.
flow, but being kept in the loop would be nice, because I could not plan anything knowing,
Right.
No, I agree with that.
so.
It's very secretive.
I would trust that whatever his plans are should be somewhat concrete, because if it's gonna be, well, I might do this and I might do that, and I might change my mind at the last minute, but well, that still handicaps what we can do, limits what we can do, and that's not fair with him.
Right. Okay.
Plus, I feel like if he doesn't work with us, that looks bad for him. Like, or if it's
I think
bands
it-
that are sponsoring,
I think it just makes me look bad, so.
well, we don't let that happen.
I don't think it does. I see how you feel that way.
Yeah, because the general public doesn't know all the behind the scenes, they
Right,
just see,
all the work that you do.
yeah,
Yeah,
not even that, they just don't know how things got to where they are,
right.
so.
True.
Oh, I just had some, fireworks. Are you guys okay with me moving forward with an RFP, for us to submit and you
Yep.
go the normal route? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely like the ones we've had, seen one over the years, it's been really good. I think the fireworks, you always hear people say they're really good fireworks.
Yeah, they're a great company to work with, and they handle pretty much everything completely on their own, so.
Yeah.
And I think they're one of the only ones that can meet our qualifications, because we have to be able to get it out on the water with them bringing barges and.
Did we talk last year about setting, when we go to Eastport, there's only one way into Eastport. So on the morning of the fireworks for like a couple of hours, on your way in, there's a toll, a voluntary toll, and the firefighters stand out there with a boot, and, people there's only one way into Eastport. So you can either slow down and donate to the fireworks, or you can go around and keep going, like, did we talk about doing that?
I don't recall talking about that specifically, and I think that would be very difficult for us to do because we are limited on volunteers and firefighters.
Right.
They're all kind of busy that day, and it would be very hard to keep track of. But I would, and I'm hoping you're willing to help me at some point soon, move forward with presenting the select board with a proposal to be able to, take
Okay.
online
Yeah.
payments and maybe have up like some posters with QR codes that say,
Yeah.
hey, donate to Blueberry Festival, and maybe get some money in that way.
Yeah,
But right now, we don't accept anything electronically.
okay.
And I think the way the world's going, people don't really carry cash anyways.
Right.
So,
It's true.
It's true, we never have cash.
and that's why I put on like all of like the crafter and vendor stuff. We don't supply electricity or internet because a lot of those people come needing to run their,
Oh, there.
so they need to have their own cell phone, their own chips, their own everything. We're not providing that stuff, but that's how payments are made now. So,
Yeah,
It's true.
but I think if you put the QR code, that you should say like the donations are gonna go to the fireworks, I think people would.
yep. Yeah, if we can get it passed, we can definitely discuss that, either fireworks or Blueberry Festival as a
Right.
whole.
Right.
It's hard for me to want to separate out people's
Sure.
donations, because if people say, I want this specifically to go to
Right.
this, and we've already met,
Yeah,
That
you're just
need-
better off,
Right.
you're better off
Yeah.
just do Blueberry Festival.
Yep,
so,
good idea.
Yeah.
but I don't know how to present that to the select board other than just showing up and asking.
That is a great way to do it.
There you
It
go.
wouldn't happen that meeting, that we'd say, great, thanks, that would come up the next meeting. I would suggest we talk to Maria and then sit down with her, come up with a plan, and David to go on the agenda.
Okay, that works. Yeah, well, it'd just be nice to be able to put up something on, the Blueberry Festival page as well, because I know a lot of people support it and
Right.
Yeah,
want
I agree.
to donate towards it. It's just, you gotta give them an easy method these days, because
Yeah.
they don't wanna write out a check and send it in, or,
Check with me.
right, right.
Yep.
So. And as far as the park goes, I'm gonna move forward. Well, I'm gonna book the bounce houses and stuff tentatively, but I do need to speak with Maria and the select board, because there were some issues about us paying people last year, and I need to know how they wanna move forward with that, because the reason why we pay people is we couldn't get enough volunteers.
Okay.
So I need to know what their plan is for that, because, hate to break it to you, but if you guys don't want me paying people, y'all are gonna have to show up and run them.
Right.
It is pretty hot out there, just letting you know.
I don't remember there being an issue, to be honest with you.
Yes, it was presented to me that there was an issue with us paying people, and the fact that Maria's the one that told me. She said it came from the select board.
She didn't say who the select board mentioned
She said it came from the select board, that there was issues, and that a majority of the people were my family or my family friends that were getting paid.
So it's the who and not the what necessarily?
I'm assuming,
Do you know what meeting it was?
Who cares? Volunteer's a volunteer.
I don't know if it was even in a meeting, because usually those comments are made outside of meetings.
So maybe it's like one person as an aside.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
assuming I know who it came from.
Okay.
The same one who doesn't think I should get paid. But,
No, that is-
but so yes, I will move forward with booking that, and I am looking into different entertainment options. But again, without having an exact layout of things, it's very difficult to, because a lot of places you have to put down a down payment, and once you put that down, you've lost it. So I really just need to move forward with the music aspect. And I'm waiting to get permission to use the parking lot next door for the parade before I advertise it.
Yep.
So as soon as I have, a yes on that, we'll advertise the parade, and I think we're in a good spot so far.
Perfect.
And then donation requests will be going out this week. So, if you know of anybody who's got lots of money and wants to donate?
James paid for fireworks one year?
He paid a portion of it the year Tom Saviello did it, under his marina's name.
Of course he did.
Yeah. So, that is really all I have, just I'm moving forward. If you guys had anything you wanted to have looked at or anything like that?
I faith in you.
Okay. I mean, we pull it off every year, so. Just different constraints and gotta figure out how to work around them.
I scanned the minutes from the past 2 years and I can't find anything about, I don't know if any people were with me, but I had to do it last year.
Okay. So, we've been doing it ever since I've been there, so. When Maria was here, not Maria, when Rhonda was here, we paid them cash. And just had them sign a thing that they received the cash. Perry said no cash, but you can give them checks, and now Maria says no paying, so, even though I've done it for 2 years with her here. So, I just don't know how to proceed with that, because I don't want to rent all those bounce houses if we don't have people to run them. That's a huge part of it.
That's a huge draw there.
It really is. That's one of the biggest draws to the festival these days is everything at the park. And that's where I'd like to focus on growing, but, you know, I'd love to have like,
Is that where most of the people, sorry, is that where most of the people end up working? So you get paid?
yes, so we pay people per hour to run the bounce houses for that 4-hour stretch. And we generally have in the area of 10-ish inflatables, water slides and whatever. And then sometimes, definitely my son gets paid to help because he goes and sets up barricades outside of, he runs that also, but he sets up barricades and he runs people back and forth to their cars for the vendors and crafters in the morning. He's there at 6 o'clock in the morning running people and whatever. So I think outside of that, nobody gets paid.
But if it's primarily at the park, why can't Parks and Rec pay for people to set things at the park? That makes sense to me. That way, if they get paid, then, you know.
He doesn't have enough staff and, yeah, that's a.
I'm just wondering about whether, like, if the checks come from that department, there's no conflict of interest for anyone to worry about.
I don't think there should be any issue with it. Anyways, I do try to get volunteers. I mean, there's been years, I was just telling her, my daughter volunteered to get her hours for National Honor Society. We do go with volunteers first and then we fill in with paid people because we can't find other people. If anybody has any issue with who's working there, discuss it with me. Come see. I mean, obviously they're working. I mean, they're out there in the sun. They're running those bounce houses with thousands of kids. So it's needed.
Have we had people volunteer and then find out someone else get paid and why they didn't get paid?
Nope, the people who want to volunteer. And one of the biggest issues with volunteers is they'll volunteer, say sure, and then not show up. If somebody's coming for a paycheck, they show up. Because we have to ensure every bounce house is manned for the entire time. That is the rules of the inflatable company, and obviously it's a safety thing. So we do what we do to keep it running, and it is a huge draw. So
Yeah.
I think there just needs to be a bigger discussion about parameters of this festival, because there is none. So
Have you ever called the high school and like talked to National Honor Society and
I have,
put it out there?
when Megan was in National Honor Society, she, put out an email to everybody, hey, this is a great way to get your hours, and I think we gained 2 kids out of it. They were her friends who were gonna come anyways. But over the summer, it's very difficult to get kids to wanna participate, and the school groups don't participate because they're not in school. And some years, the Blueberry Festival falls in the 2-week no touch, which means they can't get together as a group, so.
So that makes it impossible.
Yes, yep. So we're literally, and then it's really difficult for me, especially when it comes to kids, to just take any random volunteer.
Right.
I feel as though I at least need to know that person or trust somebody that knows that person. So I base a lot of, that on that, so. Kids' safety is number one.
How many volunteers will need total?
It depends on how many inflatables we get for the year, but we generally have 10-ish, I think, 10 inflatables up there. And TJ comes up and he's it, because I'm all over the place. He's there, he oversees all of the people running the bounce houses, make sure they have water, bathroom breaks, and that there's no issues. And then we have one person stationed at each. I mean, he volunteers to do that. And then the rest are a mix of volunteers and paid people.
So that's 10, one per bounce house.
Yeah.
Is that's not all we need for the whole festival, is it?
For volunteers, no.
Yeah.
But that's all we get. Me and Mike.
I know, not like, yay, with everyone we need, and then stuck with just 10 work you get by without feeling screwed.
30. Like literally, Mike and I on Saturday, Heidi will help with the race, because the race requires quite a few volunteers, which usually ends up being these two and then my family again. And I don't really think anybody else comes to help. It's just us doing registrations, handing out t-shirts, getting the race started, all of that stuff. And then Mike and TJ kind of go man barricades to let racers through. So that requires a lot of volunteers, and then throughout the day, Mike and I are running back and forth nonstop and trying to pick up where people miss barricades or closing and opening barricades, because our fire department doesn't always do. And that's another area where my son helps out too. And then I'm back and forth just putting out fires, and he's doing whatever's needed. So it's literally just a few people running the entire festival when we could use somebody in every area, or multiple people in every area.
How old's your son?
He's 20.
Okay, so he gets a little bit older and moves away, we're twice as screwed.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not.
Okay. Just check.
Yep. So there's a lot there. We definitely need volunteers to keep this thing going. It requires a lot of work in a lot of different areas, and we really can't grow any more than we are right now, because it's barely manageable for us. So, and if we
Which
lose,
is so sad.
And you've got some select board that has seen it, he's ridden with me.
yes.
And he has seen how stressful it can be. And he's even stood out there and said, you cannot do this. I mean, we've got thousands of people walking down Main Street,
Right.
and they're trying to drive cars down through there.
Who's this?
Huh?
Who's this? The Flynn?
So he's sorry, he's like, you guys can't go, you can't drive down through here.
Yeah.
So-
We really just need, we know where there's issues. We need some solid correction, and it's not because we don't know how to correct it, it's the follow through isn't there.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, you have to have somebody there, because it just doesn't,
Yep.
because people, you put up barricades, they're gonna run it, or they're gonna move them.
Yep. And again, safety is number one for me. Like, if that means I have to find somebody and pay them to stand at a barricade to make sure people don't get run over, then that's what I'm gonna do. Our fire department doesn't have enough people, and they don't always go where they're supposed to.
Well, it's good on the other end, you know, where Jay backs down in, you know, and Sonny's over at that end, so they're always keeping people from not going down around and for that end. Farmington does a good job by the Cushing, but they can't handle Well Road and, you know, Cushing, that area, so.
Well, it also depends on the year and who they send. I mean,
Exactly.
There was one year where I watched them, the parade literally coming down Weld Road, and I was in the golf cart going up the side of Weld Road, and I just watched them let cars come down from the school area and turn up Weld Road. I'm like, no. And my son got off and ran up and told the firefighters, he's like, no, you need to shut this road down, the parade's coming. They're like, we know. He's like, no, they're running into the parade, stop. And I'm trying to get the cars to pull over to the side of the road. We had the same issue last year. I was on Weld Road in front of Amanda Lee's house, and it's videoing, and they had this car come flying up behind me, and I stepped out in the road because they're going head on into Ethan's cruiser. Police car with flashing lights, and they're right down
So
the center
what
of the road.
did you do, send them down High Street?
No, I told them to pull over and park until the parade was over, and they weren't to move, and so I stood next to their car so they couldn't, and I videoed
Who
from
was
there.
it?
An out-of-stater,
Oh,
so,
They get a free parade out of the deal.
yeah.
right.
Win for them.
I'm not gonna let you run people over if I can help it, so.
That's the, safety is the biggest thing, I agree with that 100%.
And that's, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of things that we know need work. We just need some help to get there. So, but we're working on it.
I think you're doing a good job. All of the city.
Yeah, we haven't had any major.
Nobody's got hurt, so we've done good.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
All right, I guess that's it. I'm just moving forward. If you guys have anything,
All good.
all right.